Good morning, YouTube. I actually wanted to film my orchid collection, well, my tiny orchid collection, and I'm having a kind of problem with it because first I'm kind of shy on camera, and second my house is a ginormous mess. But first I wanted to show you my Dendrobiums. This is my first one. I got it as a keiki. I think I got 2 keikis from my uncle, and I mistreated it for 4 years. I potted it up in soil with a little bit of turf pellets, and a month and a half ago I started reading about orchids. That's when I got the orchid bug. I had 3 phalaenopsises, 2 with a keiki. I had a 4th one, but sadly it died. That's the reason why this all started. And this one is perking up quite nicely. It has 8 new growths, but they're starting to mature already. This is one of the new growths, and those 2 are, there's one over here down. This one is a new growth, and it's starting to pick up quite nicely. This is a keiki from my great grandmother's plant. It went from my great grandmother to my grandmother to my uncle, and my uncle forgot to water it for a month or 4, so it was quite a big specimen, and I had to divide it because there were a lot of dead canes in there. I cut them off, but they started to mold and had a fungus problem, so I divided it to get all the old canes out. This is a division, and I made some rhizome clips with bamboo skewers, and they're starting to pick up. There are some nubbins that's showing progress, so I hope they develop to make some new roots. Sorry for the noise there. And I've got a division over here also with some nice tiny active eyes, which I hope I can save. The saving part was not that bad. It took me 6 hours to clean up the root ball that was never been repotted. So all the old media was still buried in there. That's the last cane, but I couldn't get that off because I would lose the cane attached to that one. So they still look dry and shrivel, so I miss them every morning. And I have them outside on my porch, so it's protected from rain and, well, over raining because we live in Holland and it rains a lot. This is the 3rd division, also with a nice bamboo skewer. Let me see if I can find some growths there. I shake a lot, I'm sorry for that. Let me see. Can you see that? Wait. There we go. So most of them have active eyes, which I hope will save the plant and make a healthy root system. This is an experiment. I potted up the last part that shows the least amount of progress and put it in semi-hydro, but the thing was so top heavy I put it up in a food container with rocks so it wouldn't tip over. It has some bumps, but I think all the bumps dried up. But it's an experiment. Today is watering and feeding day. I have a 2020 fertilizer for actually all my plants. I still have some old fertilizer which contains urea. Is 357, and I have some PK 1314 because I have been told that Dendrobiums, before they go into winter rest, they need less nitrogen, and in Holland we have a lot of grow shops, so I was readily available to get some there. These are tiny experiments. This is a keiki from my Dendrobium, this plant. And I potted up in a tiny pot and it kept tipping over, so I put it in a disposable cup. this is the same with a different media. This is keiki. Oh wait, this is the keiki, and this is the new growth that my cat managed to bump off when it was in the windowsill. So these two are mine, from my plant. And this is one. This is a keiki from my uncle's plant. It had about 15 keiki, so I removed 15. It had more than 20. There are still 6 or 7 on those tangly messes that I couldn't get off. They hadn't had a decent root system. They won't come off easily, and I didn't want to hurt the plant. But I potted them up in different media. This is with bark chips and ceramose and perlite. This is, I think it's the same mixture, but with the different plants. This is only in hydraton or leca, or what you want to call it. We call it hydrokorrels in Dutch. This is in tiny ceramose, big ceramose, and just a few pieces of bark with a little bit of moss. These are 2 tiny keikis, and the roots are going okay. The leaves look dried. This is, I ordered some orchids from Klaas and Orchideeën, and this is the one that was the least sick or broken or rotted or snail infested. It is a Dendrobium star class. It was potted up looking like one big plant, and when I repotted it, because the medium was starting to decompose, I found out that it were 2 different plants. It is a tiny one, so I'm not sure if it's gonna grow bigger or that I just have a small miniature Dendrobium. I have no clue. On the picture it looks like canes with 30-35 centimeters, and this is about 15, 10. Let me see if I put my fist. Yes, it's about 15 centimeters. So I lost a leaf already the first day on this plant, and this leaf is turning yellow, and it's not about too much sunlight. It doesn't look sunburned, and I have no clue why it's doing this, but like I said, I ordered 4 plants. All 4 of them are not in the best condition. And yes, a full ashtray over there. I smoke. Not in the house though, only on the porch. And this is just my outside orchids. And sometimes I take my sun-loving orchids outside on the porch for a little bit of morning sun. And this is part 1 of maybe a 4-part introduction of all my orchids. Thank you for watching, and happy growing. Bye!